When you're ready, Mark, we'll start with you.
Afternoon, Phil, Steph, what's your thoughts ahead of this game with Wales?
Well, this was the one I was looking forward to on home soil. It was great, the 3 games in America, but to walk out at a Premier League stadium with the England women's national team is going to be a great honour for me. But it's to be fair, it's more about the players. I think the players are more excited about this game. It's a big World Cup qualifying game. You know that the games in America were great for me as a learning curve in terms of getting to know my players and the standards that they're at, and learning about the standards of the other teams in the world that we're competing against. But there's 3 points on offer now. Wales are top of the group, so we've got to make sure by the end of play on Friday that we're back on the top of the group where we believe that we should be. Well, I think the first things first, that we shouldn't take for granted the fact to qualify for a World Cup. I've spoke for the last 2 months about I want to win the World Cup. I want to be the best team in the world with the women's team. But ultimately, we've got to qualify for a World Cup first, and we're not taking that for granted. And we're playing against a Wales team that's really well coached, well organised. They've got some individuals that can cause problems. So that's the first step, is actually to qualify for a World Cup. There was nothing in the She Believes playing against Germany, USA and France that actually left me in any doubt that we can become the best team in the world. We've gone up to second now. We was third when I took over. So the foundations are really strong. But it's ultimately what we do on the field, and I want to and I have been challenging the players every day this week to keep lifting their individual performances. Now it's about individual performances getting better and better, and as a collective team we can get better as well. So it's actually pushing the bar even higher than what's been set.
With the nature of the match being Wales against England, the rivalry between the two countries, how do you divorce yourself from that emotional attachment, and what would you say to the players about that?
Well, there's a couple of things really. It's England v Wales. It's like a derby game, a home country game, and the fact that we're playing at a Premier League stadium in front of such a big crowd, which is something we've got to deal with. But it's a challenge for the players. A lot of our players know and play with their team as well. So I think it's that old thing, and it's playing the game, not the occasion. My team are used to playing big games. My team are not fazed by big games, and I think it's something that they're actually looking forward to, and they've got that attitude of bring it on, and that's what's been impressive this week. They actually can't wait for Friday. They want to get rid of all the training, all the preparation, and get to 7 o'clock tomorrow night when the game starts, because that's when it matters, and that's when it's another step closer to getting to where we want to be, and that's qualification for the World Cup.
Can you just talk us through the makeup of your squad for tomorrow night's game, because you've had a couple of players drop out and you've called up a couple of new faces as well? Yeah,
well, it's I think it's similar to the last camp that we had. We had a couple of players that dropped out, players that came in, took their opportunities, and from day one I said that the slate is clean, and I've seen enough in the WSL and with our players that are playing abroad that I'm going to give players opportunities to play. I think the biggest example of that is Abby McManus, who has come from nowhere to then playing 2.5 games in She Believes, and will probably stay in the team tomorrow night. So she's took her opportunity, and it's a great example to all those English players out in the WSL that if you come into my squad and you play well, you'll stay in there and you will make an impact, and I will treat you the same as everybody else.
Phil, in recent weeks there's been a lot of talk of fixture congestion and tiredness in the players. Have you seen any of that this week?
No, I don't think so. I think, look, the players have been playing a lot of games. You know, Steph and the City girls and the Chelsea players have been playing a lot of games. But it's what I said to them on Sunday night, is that when you start the season, your aim is to be in every competition come March, April, May. And particularly the Chelsea and the City girls, and even the Reading now, who are playing fantastic at the moment. Birmingham are up to 3rd in the league. So I've got a squad that's meeting up that nearly all of them are in the semi-final of the FA Cup. You see the Arsenal and the Everton players in that as well. We've got 2 English teams in the semi-final of the Champions League, and they're all challenging for the league title. So if you get to March and April and you're in that situation, it's actually where you want to be. So embrace it, enjoy it, and go for it. You know, these players work their absolute socks off every day of the week to get to this point in the season, is to meet up, play big games for England and big games for the club. And if we want to get to the #1 in the world and win World Cups, then that durability, that ability to play 3 games a week in high pressure games, because they are playing high pressure games now. The Champions League fixtures that I saw last week were a step up from WSL, and it's where I want my players playing in the best games. And you know, Steph's got a game in a couple of weeks against Lyon, fantastic team, fantastic players, but we've got a City team that they've got a lot of English players in there that are capable of beating them. The same mentality of going out there and actually just playing football, playing with the style that I want them to play, playing with the confidence and belief, and that's the most important thing. When I came out of She Believes, the thing that I thought was that the team needs more belief in the style that I want to play. I think we're making vast strides, and a lot of the players are playing that style for their clubs now, which is great for me. So more belief, more confidence, and that arrogance going out onto the pitch, and forget about what's going off around the pitch, whether it's a sellout at Southampton, whether it's a lot of games in a short space of time. We're playing for England, and I want us to play with a certain swagger, arrogance and style.
Steph, welcome back.
Thank you.
First of all, how's the ankle, and how frustrating was it to miss out on the US trip?
Yeah, the ankle's fine, obviously. Really disappointed to miss out on the boss's first trip, and obviously the start of something new, and but really glad to be sat here and really excited for Friday, and looking forward to playing against Wales and hopefully getting 3 points. We like playing the big games. We've played in the European Championships, we've played in World Cup, quarter-finals, semi-finals, and that's what you want to be part of, is these big games in front of big crowds, and knowing that them 25,000 that are going to be here tomorrow are predominantly going to be supporting England. So for us it's a massive opportunity, first and foremost, to put on a show, but most importantly to get 3 points. Yeah, I think I've got the utmost respect for Jane. I think when I first moved to Arsenal, she was a player that welcomed us with open arms, but also told us when I need to up my standard and to be better. And I think for me, for her as a manager, she'll want the utmost standards, the best standards that her girls can give her, and she'll be aggressive and she'll want them on the front foot. So for us it's just to play the way that we can play, to be patient, keep the ball as much as we can, and when we have our opportunities, take them.
Jess Fishlock says tomorrow night for Wales it's not do or die. Does that suggest to you that they might sit back off you a little bit, maybe part with us?
I mean, you can read into what you want to read into it. I think for us we've once we step out on that pitch, we know that if they sit in a deep block, we have to be patient, we have to move the ball quickly, but if they come at us, we've got to move the ball even quicker. So for us, we're prepared in both ways, and I think we've done, in terms of training this week, we've had some really good sessions, and everybody can't wait to train tonight and then be ready for tomorrow.
Has there been much chatter between England campus and Wales campus?
I'm not so sure, maybe a little bit between some of the girls that play for the likes of Reading. I think there'll be a few messages flying about, but I think once it comes tomorrow there'll be no friends. I think from my opinion and from the team, I think in terms of standards and professionalism, I think it's a major impact on us. I think we want to have an environment that's enjoyable, but at the same time what you do off the pitch impacts on the pitch, and I feel as though obviously hearing from the girls from the last camp and keeping in touch with the boss, and obviously coming into camp this time, it's important that what we do off the pitch is up to our standards, so then when we get on the pitch we're ready to go.
And before I spoke to Phil and some of the girls before you went on the She Believes Cup, one of the things they said about the new boss was that he had a great banter and a great spirit within the...
Who said that?
You've not seen that yet.
Is that still very much the case, and how important is that?
No, I think it's important that you have good relationships, and obviously it's only been 2 camps, so we're both getting to know each other along the way and every single day in train sessions in and around the hotel, and I think it's important you do have that relationship where people can be themselves, but also when it comes to football you have to deliver, and as you said, every individual is wanting to be the best for this team, and that's the ultimate aim before the World Cup, hopefully next year.
And just a couple of final points from you, Phil, if I may.
Who said I had good banter?
Sorry?
Who said I had good banter?
There's a few of them.
Did he tell you that?
As a young lad growing up in Manchester and looking up at a player called Ray Wilkins, who done so much for the game and for your beloved Manchester United.
Yeah.
How do you sum up your emotions about what he was for you growing up and what he had achieved in the game?
Well, it's been a sad week, because I grew up supporting Manchester United when Ray Wilkins was a player at Manchester United. I was obviously an England fan when Ray Wilkins was an England legend. I had the utmost respect. He coached me at under 21 level. I remember him taking me after training for passing lessons, and he could hit the ball with his left foot, his right foot. But the biggest thing wasn't probably his football ability, and it's the thing that you've probably read over the last 24 hours was how absolutely great a man he was. You talk about standards, and I talked about standards to the team, how to conduct yourself on and off the pitch. Ray was the best. He was absolute gentleman. He would welcome you into a studio, TV studio, into a dressing room, into a coach's room. An absolute class act, and sad day for football, dying so young. But you know, I always think in these types of moments you remember the great things about people, the happy memories. Passing a ball with him in Portugal as a 18-year-old, and him embarrassing me with his left foot and his right foot. You know, and the manner in which he used to greet you in the morning. You know, how are you, boss? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm unbelievably well. Every single morning, I'm unbelievably well. And you know what? When you hear somebody say that, it actually brings a smile to your face. And that's my vision of Ray Wilkins. And you know, so many great people. You look at Franco Baresi holding his shirt up for AC Milan last night. That shows what great a man he was. And we'll be repaying our respects tomorrow night by wearing black armbands. And he should be remembered not only as a football legend, but probably one of the nicest people that you've ever met in football.
Very kind words there. Thank you for those. And just finally from me, your sister, head coach of England netball, is currently in the Commonwealth. You've got a game as well. Have you had the chance to speak to her, learn anything?
No, she's killing me at the moment, because this morning I was up at 5:30 watching her first game against Scotland. So you have to get up early because of the time difference. My mum, who won't be at my game on Friday, she's just landed in Brisbane for the game this morning. So I think they're playing Uganda tomorrow. Look, she's the second best netball coach with the second best team in the world, and I'm fortunate enough to be the head coach of the second best football team in the world. So it's great times for us as a family. We speak by text at the moment, because she's obviously been in camp for the last 3 or 4 weeks. She's focused, and you know, when you're looking after 23 players, it gets quite busy, and because they're quite demanding, so you don't get that much time to phone home or to swap antidotes. So but we are speaking by text, and she's promised me that she'll set her alarm to watch me, and I'll get up in the morning to watch her against Uganda, because they've got an unbelievable opportunity to come home with a gold medal, and she's already got a couple more medals than me, so it's a little mini competition within the family.
And what about Gary in this competition?
He'll be commentating on the finals that we're in, hopefully. So no, I'm not sure whether he's coming on Friday, but he'll definitely be watching. My memories of St Mary's is that I actually made my 500th Premier League game here. It was Mauricio Pochettino's first game for Southampton. I think I prefer St Mary's than the Dell. I never had a good record at the Dell. It obviously we're losing 3-0 at one game. We had to change the kit at half time. So the Dell was always that type of stadium where you always, it was better going out than going in. But I think St Mary's is a fantastic stadium. And to be fair, I don't like training at the stadiums night before a game, because I think you can only have the pitch for a certain amount of time, and it creates a little bit of excitement with amongst the players. I like to keep them calm, but because it's a Premier League stadium, I actually want them to get that excitement out there, their minds, their bodies tonight, so then tomorrow when they come, then they're in game mode. And I think it shows where the women's game's going, that we're now filling Premier League stadiums. And you know, I have fixture calendar meetings all the time, and you know, the outlook for the next season in terms of calendar fixtures for the national team, the people that are in charge of that are now looking at bigger venues, better stadiums against the top opposition in the world, because all of a sudden England is the team that people want to play, and when you come to England, we've got the best stadiums in the world, and now I want the Lionesses to be playing in the best stadiums in the world, because when you're the second best team in the world, you need to be in the best stadiums as well. And that's what we've got. We've got a Premier League stadium that's going to be packed to the rafters, full of people coming to support my team, and that should be something that fills us all with excitement.
Do you want to see another England game at Wembley?
There will be another England game at Wembley. That's something that both the FA, I think, are committed to. Greg, and did you get that on camera? And it's something that both the FA want and I want it. The problem we've got at the moment is because of the FIFA calendar and teams playing in different areas of the world, to get the best teams to Wembley is difficult with the calendar, but we will have games at Wembley next year, I'm almost certain of it, and we will be playing the best teams in the world. So it's exciting, but we've got to keep our feet on the ground, and I said it last week in an interview that I was actually glad we didn't win She Bleeds, because at this moment in time when I'm walking around the streets or I'm going to WSL games, everyone thinks we've won the World Cup already. We've actually got to qualify for a World Cup first, and that starts tomorrow night against Wales. Thank you.